Welcome to In My Bag with Backpack Jeff, where we connect with ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today, I got a very special guest here with me, comedian Sir Alex. What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
What's up, fam?
How you doing, man?
That was
Try that again.
Yeah,
we can edit that out. Don't worry about it.
No, leave it.
Leave it.
The players fuck up.
All right. How you doing, man? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, beloved. I'm outstanding, man. First off, thanks for the invite. You know what I'm saying? I had to come jump on this right here. This is dope.
Look, I was looking forward to this, man. I was talking to my brother just a couple of seconds ago, man. I was like, yo, I'm literally going to be laughing my ass off the whole entire time that I'm going to be doing this episode, man, just because your nature is funny. When I link with somebody who's funny, man, that's what I try to do, man. I try to match that funny, yo, and I'm ready to have a good time, man.
Let's do it, bro.
All right, so comedian Sir Alex, take us through the journey of becoming a comedian. Why comedy? What made you say this is what I want to do?
Yo, as fucking storybook as it sounds, I was 5-6 years old, seeing, some of the greats do stand up. I'm like, yo, that's what I want to do. I remember saying to my family members, like, yo, I want to do comedy. They, all right, be a doctor, be a lawyer. And, growing up, that's what I thought. Okay, I gotta own a restaurant or be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my mind was geared towards. Literally leaving a job interview with a friend of mine. We both young, trying to find what we gonna do with our lives type shit. We both leave a job interview. We in the car talking. I don't even know how the conversation got to it, but he basically shared with me like, yeah, man, I be writing poetry and shit. I'm like, for real, I be writing poetry and shit too, bro. Like, listen, bro, it was like something off like a movie or something. I'm like, yo, spit something. He spit. He spit something. I spit. You feel me? Like, yo, we could do this shit. Yo, like, you funny, I'm funny. Like, and as soon as he said it, I'm like, damn, I did always want to do comedy. Let's try it. We jumps on our phone, Google's an open mic. And history did the rest.
History, man, that's wild, yo. That is definitely
like
a storybook.
Like no cat, bro. Like
that's definitely a storybook. A storybook story, man. So how long ago was that? How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been a performing artist for 7 years now, going on 8 years. Okay. 21 makes 8 years. 21, and that's crazy.
21 makes 8 years, man. That it is crazy, bro. When I look at your success, and we're going to get into your successes, over the past 8 years. But so I want to know, you not only do comedy, you also host, right? Which one feels better?
I feel like you gotta keep on going. I feel like it's like a few more like.
Okay, what else do you
give me the accolades.
Okay, come on with the accolades. All right, so look, you post out the accolades and you talk to us about it. I know you do comedy. Okay. I know you host. Tell us what else.
You've never seen me spit, bro.
Poetry. I've never seen you spit poetry for real. I've only seen you jokingly. Now it's still fire. It's still fire because I've only came to see you when you were actually at on a comedy tip. On a comedy tip, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I do the spoken word poetry. I act.
Okay.
I play the triangle.
I was like, what instrument is that?
My bad. But so alongside of hosting and as well as doing stand-up comedy. But to answer your question, I can't say which one I prefer doing because they're completely different. Like I have a love for hosting that is different than my love for just doing comedy.
Okay.
And I have to make sure that I separate them because if I fall in love, like if I'm doing comedy too much while I'm hosting, I'm dragging out the show. I'm doing too much time in between the acts. You know what I'm saying? And as a host, I just gotta get the energy to its level and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's an art form within itself. But that's some shit I just love both of them, man. I love performing.
That's dope. So I asked that question because I also host and I also do poetry, and I love the freedom that I have when I host.
Right.
Because it's not like I'm coming up here to do like this. Well, for me, it's poetry. It's not like I'm coming up here to do this poem and then that's it. Like with hosting, I have a host of things that I can play with. You know what I mean? I can play with the artist that just went up. I can play with an audience member that I was just talking to. I can play with the audience, with the artist who's coming up. So that's the reason why I asked that. I have a lot more. I love the freedom that you get as a host. One thing that I notice about you as a host is that you are king of controlling your crowd. Like, I literally come to your shows, and I think maybe like a month and a half ago, I was at one of your shows, and there was a girl out there. It's always the females that's always talking, man. And she was just being super ratchet, and then you was like, do you got a mic? Are you hosting? No, I'm hosting. All right, so you want to go ahead and quiet that down. Not everybody has the balls to say something like that to somebody in the audience, man.
Well, I learned. Well, one, I watched some really, really great people. So I like anybody that I consider a personal mentor of mine is fantastic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the first open mics I ever went to was Warm Wednesdays. Are you familiar?
No, not familiar.
Wow. All right. So a guy named Walter Maxfield Jones, and the nigga sings, plays the piano, does stand up, hosts and acts.
Whew.
And does all of them well. You know what I'm saying? It's so this is the standard. Like, this is my first standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm walking in a spot. He got on his suits with his Rolex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, he real fly. He professional. So, like, the whole standard for me was like, okay, boom. You feel what I'm saying? And I will watch Walt. Mind you, Warm Wednesdays is the longest running weekly open mic in the country. It's been gone for about 3 or 4 years now, but I think they ran for like 17 years or something like that, 17 or 18 years. People from Raheem Devon, like a lot of folk came in those 17 years, bro. But long story short, like I would watch Walt. Somebody would go up and slam a love poem. He get up, and have everybody in that mood.
Right.
Next person may come up and do comedy. They may do well, they may not do well. Walt go up and have everybody tripping. You know what I'm saying? So me just watching Walt control and take you through whatever emotion you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get up, you want some intellectual empower the people shit, he's gonna meet you right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my view and my standard of hosting was always different, and then like I have a lot of my background is in like church and stuff, so a lot of my family members had mics and all that, you know what I'm saying? So and I not that I don't respect people, I don't have a respect of person.
Okay.
And that's on a good and a bad tip, so like, how they say you're supposed to treat the janitor just like you treat the CEO.
Right.
So the same love and respect I have, like, it's no one person above the next inside the crowd. Ultimately, like, nigga, you're a crowd member just like everybody else. So do what a crowd member does and enjoy the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so like just that alone is like, bro, like, like who? Because why would you pay your money? Mm-hmm. Put your clothes on and sit here and say, you know what? Damn this person that has the mic in their hand that's doing their job. I got something to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, what possesses a person to do that, bro? You know what I'm saying? So like at that point, it's like, hey, you did that.
Yeah, you definitely did.
You did that.
And what's crazy though is that like when you go to a comedy show and you try to be that person that challenges a comedian, it never works out as well as you think it's going to work out, because I done seen you roast some people.
Yeah,
and I done seen you catch a couple bodies.
I wish I had some of them on camera, like, and on video, bro. Like, nigga, I remember one time, so I have this poem, and like in like a piece of the poem, I say some shit like, I'm perturbed by these petty females with their pathetic attempt to portray themselves in the pod. Like I use all these P words, but I'm speaking about women in not necessarily a negative light, but you feel me? Like, you know, when people talk about women, they just talk about these goddesses, but they don't know, like, my nigga, some of them is, you know, other ways of the split of third. And so one day I'm like spitting, I'm spitting upon, bro, I'm going off. And this is when I believe, well, when I thought being loud meant being good. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I'm really loud, you know what I mean? Like, and don't get, like, the poem is dope as fuck, you know? So, like, I'm really, really loud, and I'm going around. I think it was a young lady inside the crowd. I think she, like, blurted out once or twice. So as I'm coming around, I think I made reference to her, but I keep spitting the poem. I come around the crowd. I go to get back up on stage. Bro, she runs on stage, grabs the mic, and start doing like a freestyle poem against me, bro. Like, I swear to God, she like
to combat your poem.
Yeah. Oh, she like, man, those always do the most, or something like that. She say, bro, like, nigga, when I say I grabbed the mic so fast, bro, I fried her for like four or five real live minutes. Until the security guard just came in, like, they like took her out the side door, and I never stopped frying her. Like, I never stopped frying her.
And that's the worst part, though, is that when you get kicked out like that, yo,
you're still gone, and we're still laughing at your dumb ass.
Still laughing at your dumb ass, man.
I done had some shit, bro. One more, and then I want to push the conversation, nigga. One time, right. And so I've done comedy at some really, poetry as well. I've performed at some really unconventional spaces. Like, I've done comedy at a juvenile detention center. I've done comedy at churches. I've done comedy in niggas' living rooms, basements. You know what I'm saying? So, like, wherever the money is, check me there, you know?
Check.
And so one time, me and another couple local comics get booked to do comedy at this crab feast. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Baltimore. There's this area called Cherry Hill. It's like, you know, on like the Lion King, when the Simba's like, what's that over there? And his father's like, you must never go there. Like, that's Cherry Hill, right? Okay. And so we all get there and find out that the crab feast is a fundraiser for a Pop Warner football team in Cherry Hill. Okay. All right. So we start the show. Mind you, this is maybe about 3 years ago. Bruce Daddy was just starting comedy. So one of my faves, man. Shout out Bruce Daddy, that's my dog. Hey, I was gonna bring him with me today because I don't like taking long rides by myself, and I wanted you guys to meet. Bruce is doing some dope things. He has to. You should get him, sir. Yeah, for sure. So I take Bruce with me. You know, like I'm an actual feature on the show, but I take Bruce to like open the show up. Yeah. You know, just to get his chops together type shit. So Bruce is the first comic that a very OG comic named Frank Nitty brings up. So Frank is hosting. Guys in the crowd heckles Frank a little bit. Frank brushes it off. Bruce Daddy get up. The guy heckles Bruce Daddy. Bruce Daddy, like, you know, he's very early in his career at this time. You know, he threw him a couple shots, but he ain't like get his ass, you know, so he keeps it moving. Another guy comes up, another very hilarious comic, Tink. And so Tink is a more joke structured comic. You know, you may not always find him doing a lot of crowd work and improv and things of that nature. He's gonna work on his set and make his jokes as funny as possible. So the guy heckles Tink. Tink like, man, I'm just trying to tell my jokes, my nigga. Like, right. I say to myself, the first thing this nigga say when I get up here, I'm on his ass. Cause at this point, it's like, yo, these is my friends. Like, yeah, and you coming after all of them. These are my friends that I know are funny. Like, guys I work with all the time, and you stopping them from getting their shit off. You feel me? I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing it. First thing he say, I'm in his bushes. Bro, as soon as I get on, bro, he say, bro, I rode the nigga for every bit of 20 minutes, bro. Like, bro, I'm talking about. Now, mind you, we on Pennsylvania Avenue in Baltimore at Capitol Lounge, which is a very, very dope black-owned spot. They like have a lot of different performances. The food is really, really good. So we on Pennsylvania Avenue with a group of niggas from Cherry Hill. I got on flip-flops, shorts, and a floral button-up open. I said, nigga, you getting fried up by a nigga in flip-flops right now. Nigga, the fuck you talking about? I think that's what killed him, bro.
Yo, that's as bad as Drake saying you getting bodied by a singing nigga.
Yeah, you know, basically, like, nigga, you getting fucked up right now, bro. Bro, yo, that shit was hecklers, bro.
Man, yeah, hecklers are tough to deal with, man. But like I said, yo, you're one of them people who handles hecklers like no one that I've ever seen, man. And again, you also control the crowd. I think that controlling the crowd is basically, you know, not allowing the crowd to overtalk, to talk during the show and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things. Even like when you go to an open mic, man, that's one of the things that you got to make sure that you're doing is, hey, look, y'all can talk while I'm up here hosting. Like a lot of times, I don't mind people talking while I'm hosting if it's small, quiet. You know, if the conversations are kept low. Right. But when the other artists come up, I need you to show more respect for them than you are showing for me, because to me, they're the ones that matter.
And so I take that approach. Definitely not with talking. You're gonna shut the hell up. But so like, if you're gonna talk back to anybody while I'm hosting the show, that's when I'll entertain small levels of back and forth talk. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how it is. And then I'll let you know, like, yo, I can handle that. You know, go ahead, holler at me, you know, when I'm up here. Don't be disrespectful. But like you say, when I bring these other comics up, let them do their job. You know what I'm saying? And so like I've learned, like, when you set the tone a certain type of way, everybody just has to follow the tone that's set. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, again, watching Walt, like, first thing that man do when he get on stage, look, guys, this is the rules. This was going to help us all enjoy ourselves. You feel me? You following these rules, we going to have an amazing time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I pay attention to, you know, when I go to a lot of spaces, they just jumping in the water. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like, you know, especially when, you know, you have a room full of quote unquote untrained people. You know, it's one thing when you have a crowd that's always at mics and they're always at comedy and poetry shows. They already know how to conduct themselves. But, you know, our goal should be to push and expand the culture and the art. You know what I'm saying? So you should be, not per se, but all the poets, all the comics. Like, nigga, their job is to introduce what you do to somebody. Like, let them know that it's more poets other than Maya Angelou. Nigga, like, it's me. You feel me? Like, it's me right in front of you and I'm dope. Come and check me out. You understand what I'm saying? And so those people who don't know the culture will only do what they see.
Right. They're not coming into it knowing exactly how to respond. And that's the reason why, like, my opening when I do the poetry thing, even like you know, last night when I did my thing at this show.
What show was that?
That was, well, you know, that was Backpack Jeff opening for Music Soul Child and Chrisette Michelle. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't.
42 Doug.
But so like what I tell them, I go, anybody ever been to an open mic comedy show? Everybody say yeah, and everybody starts snapping. I'm like, they told y'all to do that after the show, after they perform, right? Yeah. I'm like, don't do that shit. I hate it. Don't do that. Yeah, I know. However the poem made you feel, I want you. That's how much noise I want you to make. Yell, scream, clap, shout, stomp your feet, do all of those things.
And just that simple breakdown, what that does to a person's psyche is it lets them know, like, okay, this person is not a robot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I really don't like, I hate robotic poetry, bro.
Yeah. the poem.
And we were today and yesterday. If you don't fucking say those words, like, who talks like that, bro?
Nobody. But you know what, man? You know what, yo?
Get tugs.
When you go to, if you go to a national competition, bro, they all sound the same. They all sound like that. That's the reason why I got out of doing national competitions.
Do you know why they lose to Baltimore?
Because Baltimore is raw, and Baltimore is giving you the real. That's the difference. And you know what's crazy, bro, is that they kicked me off of the 2018 DC national championship. They kicked me off, bro. Nah, bro, they kicked me off the joint. Right, this is personal now. I'm feeling like Emmanuel Hudson on Wildin' Out. So look, they kicked me off of the joint and told me that my poetry wasn't good enough. My poems weren't ready. Now, here's what's even crazier. He told the team that I decided not to be a part of it, so he lied. But he kicked me off of the joint and told me that I wasn't good enough and my poems weren't ready. But when I went to South Carolina and used them same poems, bruh, I won. And the same people was there that was going to be at nationals. I'm like, you know what's wrong is that you want to put me in this box. And if I don't fit in this box of what you think poetry is, I'm not good enough as a poet. Bruh. I don't want you to make me the version of the poet you want me to be. I want you to make me the best version of the poet that I am.
Come on now. And now when I moved to Vegas, I saw a lot of that shit, bro. I almost dreaded being in open mics, waiting for my turn, bro. Because like I have to listen to 10 people go up and sound just like same. That.
Yes, bro.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's so you know, you resemble where you reside,
right?
You know, and so like a lot of the poets, you know, now that come up. You know, I can hear the remnants of O in people. Mm-hmm. You know, I hear like the remnants of Black Chakra in people. You know, Rebecca Dupas has a lot of daughters, and that probably don't even know her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who probably met someone who was like, oh, okay, I like. And so, to an extent, it's like if you listen to me close enough, I resemble Walt. Right. You listen to me close enough, I resemble Cleon. You know, these are people I watched a lot. Yeah. However, there's a level of individuality still, right? Yes. And it's like, my nigga, bro, like I would find myself being almost disrespectful in those open mics. Because it's like, you know, like I love artistic spaces so much, but it's like, how can I be inspired if it's nothing inspirational going on in here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is, the sky was high. Yo, what the fuck?
Yo, my boy Chaos has T Chaos himself, man. Shout out to Chaos.
Yeah, he's a really dope poet as well.
Yeah, he is, yo. He has this poem called I Hate Slam Poetry, bro. I gotta let you hear this joint.
Yo, listen.
Oh my God.
I want to hear it, bro. I want to hear it.
It's hilarious, bro. It's one of my favorite poems of his. For the reason that he attacks what people call conventional, what the conventional poetry is. Like, you know, he does these poems and he gets these standing ovations all the time. But then when he went to nationals and he did the poems, it was like four. Like people are yelling, screaming, shouting, throwing money, throwing pens, when I do these poems.
Four. You know, I don't need you to judge my poem by your metrics. Just judge the poem. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me some. I just always said to myself, like, all right, anything I'm gonna do it without that. You know, because it's like the poem 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You can't say this word. You can't say that word. You know what I mean? I'm all right, man. I wrote poetry to express myself.
Right.
Like, I don't need somebody to guide how I express myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't with that.
Yeah, nah, man. I'm completely with you, man. The competing or the competitive poetry scene is definitely not something that I can say that I will find myself back in. While I have made some great relationships with some artists that have came through that space, I just don't think that it's a space that I want to occupy, and I want to, you know, put out the art and the stuff that I'm creating. For that simple reason of I want to be who I want to be, not who you all want me to be. So when you think about comedy, man, and you think about poetry, you think about any art, yo, where does your inspiration come from? Like where does the comedy come from? Is it like, what kind of comedian are you? Are you telling them about yourself? Are you telling them, you know what I mean, something that happened, or like where does that come from?
So I believe that the best comedy comes from a very real and true space. So sometimes, I'm talking about myself. I'm giving real stories that I actually experienced. A lot of my comedy is very what is it? Observatory, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that's the word you're looking for.
So just things that I've observed, things that I've seen, things that I've experienced, and what I've learned is a comic's job oftentimes is to address the elephant in the room, right? And so what makes a comic good is when it's funny.
Yep.
And so like if you address the elephant in the room and it's not funny, you're just an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just an asshole, right? However, if it's something going on but nobody's talking about it, everybody's sweeping that shit under the rug.
Yeah.
The comic is the person that should be able to pull that rug and say, "Yo, y'all really gonna keep? Don't nobody see this lump?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all just keep walking over it, keep walking past it like it's not there.
Keep tripping and don't nobody look back and say, "You know what? It's because the rug." Like, and so it's like, that's a comic's job. And so me learning that, so that's why some of the greatest comics were very political driven, or you'll see comics get to a certain level and the nature of their content changes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You may watch them coming up and it's very my girlfriend this, my boyfriend this, my homeboy this, and then they'll go up and it's like, man, America is da 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 da, and the white people is da 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 da. And did y'all see when da 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 da, and this person tripping, and so because it's like they have a responsibility. What on some Nina Simone? What's her name? Don't worry about it. I smoked a little weed, but we just have to echo the time. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to, like it's just our job to talk about what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, man. And I think that's where the best comedy comes from is that when you can not only do your quote unquote set, but then you can also incorporate like when that recent thing happened with them people storming the Capitol. I was like, Dave Chappelle is about to have a field day with these things. Dave Chappelle I can hear him now in his next special. Did y'all see it? Did y'all see it? Yo, I'm telling you, I can hear him now, man. Just coming up, man. So you mentioned some of the greatest comics and stuff like that, man. Who are some of your favorite comedians that you watch, that you kind of pulled from? Who are some of those people?
Yeah, cool. Me. Me.
Dialogue,
so another nigga named Me.
Dialogue.
No, man. So
top 5 of all time. Dylon, and Dylon.
But so like I was saying, just watching Walt a lot, in my early career, and like even now, just to me, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. So watching Walt, watching Cleon, there's a guy in Baltimore named Larry Lancaster. Watching Larry is fucking phenomenal, man. Patrice O'Neill, that's the big dog. So I really like, what he's done. I think that if Patrice O'Neill didn't die, a lot of stuff wouldn't fly right now, Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney, Dave Chappelle, of course. Dave's a great. Eddie Griffin, Eddie Murphy. I mean, I love comedy, and I appreciate what everybody brings to the game. Like before I was a comedian, I was a Jerry Lewis fan. You know what I'm saying? And so just watching how funny this nigga was without ever saying anything. You know what I mean? Like he never talked, but one of the funniest comics you ever want to meet. And so just watching things to that nature, just Love comedy.
That's dope, man. I think we pull a lot of inspiration from the people that we see. Not only the people that we can't touch, like we may not be able to touch like a Dave Chappelle or something like that, or like a Dick Gregory. But like you said, you mentioned like Cleon, you know what I mean, stuff like that. People that you can readily touch. And when I see you, man, when I see you at your events, the one thing that I see a lot of the same guys coming and working under you in terms of like, I want to be at Sir Alex's event every Sunday, Sully's Comedy Cellar in Baltimore. We want to talk about that. But I see them there, and it's like, how do I get better? You know what I mean? I feel like they look up to you in that. Would you say you're mentoring some of those guys in that realm, or what would you say? Like, where y'all kind of like in a comedy circle and y'all kind of help each other?
Yeah, so I'm going to say that I'm playing my role.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, some of them may look up to me in some way or aspect, but even now, my nigga, like, I look up to somebody, and so it's not like, you know what I mean? So it's just, I feel like you should always have people around you that you are inspired by.
Right.
Like some of those very same comics who are coming every Sunday, is trying to get some stage time, watching comedy. Like, some of them are trying to build their stand up and build that aspect of their comedy. Some of them have mastered social media and are sensations, you know what I mean? And so it's like, my nigga, like, I don't know how to make no like skits and all of that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's not my lane.
Right.
And so to where I'm the quote unquote big brother in that arena, my nigga, like, when I'm featured in one of their skits or some shit and I come to the set, nigga, I sit down and say, well, what you want me to say? What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Because that's not my lane. Like, that's like, I become the little brother in that lane.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we all got a role to play.
Yeah, and you know what? That's humbling, man, to even take that approach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely respect that. So one of the things that I know about you for sure, anytime I come to your show, do you always clean? I mean, you clean now, my guy. I mean, you one of the cleanest comedy. I mean, this is like old school comedy right here. You know what I'm saying? Super cleaned up. Why the outfit choice? Is that just like comfortability?
Like, I've been dressing like this since I was a kid, yo.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just told you, like, most of them, like, my father's a pastor, my uncle's a pastor. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all my life, just how I dress.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, even times where I'm chilling with my friends when we in the hood, we was little, my nigga, like, I got on a pea coat. Everybody else got on flight jackets and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? 6th grade, I'm wearing fitted polo shirts with the collar up because I think I'm Kanye. And everybody else, dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? So, it's 5X, 4 and 5X white tees, and I'm medium Ralph Lauren. You know what I'm saying? But this real though, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just who I've always been. You know what I mean? It's like,
I get it, man. Yeah, that's what's up, yo. So you brought a special bag with you, man.
Yeah, what's the name of the show?
In my bag with backpack.
So we got to get in our bag.
So today we in our bag with Sir Alex. We're gonna take a look.
Yeah, and guess what?
Okay, what we got in the bag?
Came bearing gifts.
We came bearing gifts. Now, see, this is how you come to a podcast.
Yeah. That's
you come. Oh, come on, man. Sir Alex, laugh more.
Crack that open.
Sir Alex, laugh more. You know what? I drink my tea every morning. Yo, can we? Y'all? You see? The camera, we're going to zoom in on that right there.
Dishwasher safe as well.
Laugh
and
more.
Microwave safe. That's
dishwasher and microwave safe. Okay.
Yeah, some folks out here selling cups.
That
ain't really.
Come on now. All right.
The gifts ain't done now.
The gifts ain't done. Oh man, it's Christmas in here, man.
Yeah, now you take that with you there.
Okay.
You take those
the Sir Alex buttons, yo.
Man.
Dog. This is dope, yo. Man. I mean, so all right, so you're a businessman. Tell me, how you learned how to, you know, monetize what it is that you're doing, and become successful at it, man. Because we was talking a little bit before this about, you know, merch and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
What type of merch are you selling, and then how has that had an impact on your comedy career?
Sure. So I moved to Atlanta maybe about a year or two in me doing comedy, and I would watch, because the comedy clubs in Baltimore are very, they like fake bougie. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really allow the comics the proper like just due to come up, if that makes sense. If you go to most cities and you go to a random comedy club, you're gonna catch comics in there chilling, watching a show. Maybe they want to meet whoever's headlining. Maybe they just like, you know what? They may have 5 minutes for me tonight. You know what I'm saying? They like, all right, I'm gonna watch this person because they're great. I'm gonna just study the game. Baltimore doesn't really allow you to do those types of things.
Okay.
Right? And so when I moved to Atlanta, and I would watch all of these dope ass comics come in through the comedy club, and I'm like, all right, I know they got flu in town. I know they, got put up in a hotel room. They getting paid to do this. Like, you got paid, right? Then I would watch them stand by the back door with 50, 100 DVDs, selling DVDs. I'm like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? And so like now, I just told you, like, I've always been one to observe and one to watch.
Right.
So I'm watching, I'm like, you know what?
Missing a couple of opportunities here.
And so it's so crazy living in Atlanta, right? Mind you, I moved to Atlanta with 5 other Baltimore comics. One of them being Cleon, the comedian.
Okay.
At this point in time, Cleon had he had filmed a movie and put it in a movie theater here, but he had it on DVD. He was selling some DVDs in Baltimore. Nobody picked up that once we got down there. So I'm like, you know what? Cleon had a DVD burner. But my nigga, I was so broke down there. I went and stole my first pack of DVDs, came home, burned them. I ain't bullshit you, bro. Look,
Hey, I feel you.
Burned them, right? So now I would go to all of the comedy shows that we would be at. Tell them like, look, we have a filming production crew. We all filmed this movie. I got this movie $5. I got this movie $10. Like, I started making money. Like, it all started from me making money from some shit that, like, I wasn't even in. Like, I wasn't even in bluffing, bro. Like, so I'm running around Atlanta selling DVDs for bluffing. I'm not even in it.
Not even in it.
You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I learned, like, you know what, bro? It's about shoot your shot.
Right.
And 2, how you present it. Because I never told nobody I was in it. I said, me and my friends from Baltimore, we filmed the movie. This is the movie.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I put you in a position to support, right? And so, I've watched different people have and sell different merchandise. A lot of people do the whole T-shirt thing. That's cool. Just in my thoughts, I'm like, all right, let's say I got 2 different T-shirts. I gotta have 5 to 6 sizes of every T-shirt.
Yeah.
Then I got to have the ones for the men. I got to have the ones for the women.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta have fucking 100 shirts at all times.
Yeah. It's a large investment when you're talking about T-shirts.
Right. And so I said, everybody do that. DVDs, the day of DVDs is gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that don't really work. I think one of the first things that I really got into, so because I've always thrown and curated shows for about the length of my career almost, I will always have tickets. Like, you know what I'm saying? You always gonna catch me with some tickets. I done came to DC with tickets for some shit in Baltimore. and whatever I sell, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's always extra, you know. But when I got into the merch thing, originally it was wine glasses. I said to myself, you know, I keep the majority of the money spenders are women.
Yeah.
That's who drives real financial markets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if we been on,
If you being serious,
yeah. And so I said to myself, that's who I'll cater to.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's who spends the money with me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who come to my shows. It's women. You know what I'm saying? So, it was wine glasses originally. Just doing like some math and just spatial wise, and so it was wine glasses and shot glasses. What I sold my wine glass for, the profit margin was really dope. However, what I sold the shot glasses for was just it was a little more space. So I made another $1 or $2, and it was so much smaller that I can carry around more shot glasses than wine glasses. And the process in which that I had it, and so that's why I made sure that I said with this, I said, you know what, this is dishwasher safe and it's
Right.
microwave safe.
Okay.
My shot glasses weren't dishwasher safe. It was like a cheap vinyl. I had somebody putting on that for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what, if I'm selling something, I want that product to be something
That you proud
useful.
of, man.
Yeah, something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
And so the process with the shot glasses was a little different. Those are actually dishwasher and microwave safe. So I'm like, you know what? This is a better quality. I make an extra $1 and I can carry more with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm just strictly going shot glasses. Like, imagine how many shot glasses I could carry this bag if it was only shot glasses.
Yeah.
Right? And so my mom, who is a crafting whiz, she has every machine that you need to do anything,
Man.
right? And so she's actually who made these, bro.
Really?
Yeah. So
Shout out to moms for making this, yo.
Yeah.
This is fire, man.
And so we can like work on getting you something also.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so because I do some churches, I do schools. I'm like, you know what? Coffee mugs are also that's another dope thing, you know.
It's another dope thing. Listen, I drink my tea every morning, man. I gotta have it, yo. It helps, especially at this time of the year. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep with the,
That's right,
you know.
That's right. So ultimately, I just try to make sure that I find things that people can use. Mm-hmm. So like I have some water tumblers, some water containers, things to that nature. The buttons. A friend of mine had some buttons that he was selling or giving away or something. I just asked him about them. He kind of showed me that. And so I don't mind sharing it, man. They cost me maybe a quarter each. Maybe 22 cents,
Right.
maybe a quarter. And so as I'm out and as I'm doing shows, I accept donations for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even if a person give me $1,
You've already
I made 75 cents.
Yeah.
And you taking me with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the greater value, is that you're taking me with you. I mean, of course I want to make the money, but my nigga, like, I've had people like pull $50 bill out their pocket. Huh? Like, how much change you want, yo? Like, no, yo, it's you.
Yeah. No, that's such a great feeling, man. I remember one time I was selling. So I'm a person who got into the shirts. But I was selling the shirts, and dude told me, he was like, how much the shirts? I was like, $20. He was like, all right, I want 7 of them. I was like, excuse me, you want how many? Yeah, I want 7 of them. I'm like, that's $140, right? He was like, yeah, no, I got it. He pulled out this wad of money and was, what size y'all need? One for everybody at the table.
Nigga. I had some shit, bro. So I had moved to Vegas about 2 years ago, and my partner there, he had started a brand called Born Winner. He had these Born Winner hats. So I would, I would have my little shot glasses, and I would have his hats. I would help him sell his hats. He would give me a little cut off of it.
Yep.
One night I go out by myself. I hit like 2 or 3 shows. As so it was this late night show that started like 11:30, 12 o'clock on the strip. I go to the show, I rip it. After the show, same thing. The guy like, yeah, bro, give me 7, 8 of them. No, this what he did. He said, "How many you got? How many you got left?" Now, mind you, I had already went to everybody. He was in the back. He like, "How many you got left?" I don't know, 7, 8 or something like that. He like, "Yeah, give me all of them. Lead the box. 3 and 3. Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, you never know. Nigga, I was at Omar and Cleon's show last week, right? I just did a 5-minute guest spot. I'm set up afterwards. I have tickets for my comedy show. I have buttons, I have mugs, and I have shot glasses. And so what I've learned is you have to open your mouth to every single person. Because you don't know who has that money for you.
You got to.
You know, like my friends who sell drugs, like they trying to sell their drugs to everybody.
Everybody. Even if you don't want them.
Yeah,
You sure you don't want it?
You understand what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's my MO, right? So I'm standing right there. I'm standing right there. The guy walks past me, pulls $100 bill out and say, "Huh, yo, I don't even like want nothing, yo. That's for you." His girl like, "Nah, fuck that. What you got?" His girl like, "Nah, fuck that. What you got?"
He's like, "We not about to get rid of 100."
So listen, so I give her 2 tickets to the comedy show on Sunday and 2 mugs. 30, 3 and 4, 7. That's still only $70 worth for product. He had another nigga with him, right? The other nigga like, yeah, I want some tickets too. I'm like, all right, you feel me? Come on. He like, "No, yo, didn't he just give you 100? I said, "No, that's his 100. You feel me?
Where your 100 at? Yeah, we trying to benefit off of somebody else's 100.
And so, just a lot of it is about just people can tell your vibe.
Yeah, I believe that, bro.
You know, people can tell your vibe. You know what I'm saying? And you ever see the videos of that like funny door salesman guy?
Nah, remind me.
So it's this guy like who goes door to door. He was going door to door selling some cleaning spray or something like that.
Okay.
Right? But like he would have so many sayings and jokes that he would like in his sales pitch. He's giving you 5 references, some similes, some metaphors. Like that shit is poetic. You feel what I'm saying? And so so many people will just buy from him because it's him.
Because of that, yeah.
You feel me? Like because like, all right, how much is it? $20? All right, huh, bro? Give me one.
Yeah. Because when a consumer builds a certain level of trust for you, it doesn't matter what you selling, they're gonna buy it because they trust you. That's why, you know, advertisers pay athletes for ads and stuff like that.
Because
man,
people trust that.
Yeah.
When they, like so. And I can't give it all the way here, but you know, one of my main things, I tell somebody, "Quick, come on now, spend your money with a nigga that's funny. Come on now," you know what I'm saying? But people be tripping off of that. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't lying. Come, you just saying I was hilarious now, so you know, support me, take me on with you,
right? Man,
I tell somebody quick, like, "Hey man, hold that. Yeah, you know, you should take that home with you." Like I done already put it in your hand. You got it already. You folks say, "Yeah, go ahead, take that home with you." There's a guy named Michael Collier. That nigga sell a picture of himself for $20.
A picture of himself for $20.
The nigga sell a regular picture of himself for $20, bro.
Yo, look, when you can do that, man, you know you good when you can do something like that. So you have you said you went from Baltimore out to Vegas. Why did you make that move?
I felt like I was at a point in time in my career. I had just got my first national TV credit. You know, I was on season 3 of Kevin Hart's Harder City. You know, so I had a fresh TV credit. Probably had one of the most popping, you know, rooms in Baltimore.
Definitely still the most popping.
You came through the Dragon when we had the golden Dragon?
Nah, I didn't. I don't think I came through there.
Yeah, man. The golden Dragon was crazy, bro. Yeah. That probably was one of the best spaces I had. I'm like, you know what? Like, in the maybe Baltimore, DC, like in my area, it's not much that I haven't done.
Right.
It's not many spaces that I can't walk into and get some stage time. I'm like, what, I don't want to get stagnant here.
Right.
I don't want to reach a space where it's like, where as I hit this glass ceiling, like I can't keep growing. A friend of mine who was living in Baltimore, he had a like a performance art space here. Some shit happened, he had to close it down. He moved to Vegas. He like, bro, this where it's at. Like he had hit some open mics. He telling me like, yo, the Poets is dry. Remember I told you, like, they all have that old monotone. He like, nigga, the Poets is dry. The comics is corny. Nigga, get here.
Get here.
And so I dated Vegas for like 6 months, 8 months. I went maybe 3 or 4 times, hit some mics. I'm like, yeah, nigga, they said like they really need me here. However, what the Bible be saying about the weak flesh.
you gonna have to tell me. I'm not in my Bible like I should be.
Man, I'm from East Baltimore. I've been shooting dice since I was 12.
Yeah.
So the gambling is a thing over there a lot. Drinking is a thing over there a lot. All you need is your ID to buy weed over there. So it's like all of my vices are easily accessible,
Right.
And I wasn't mature enough for Vegas when I went. Definitely some dope shit now. And I've kept my relationship. I'm going back to Vegas next week. So I'm throwing a show that the same guy who had the performance arts venue here now has a small comedy club in Vegas. And so I'm doing a monthly show out of his comedy club there. So I'm still back and forth to Vegas, but just living there, like I found myself doing, and I ain't trying to be like, I found myself doing regular shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I might miss a week or two getting a haircut, or you know what I'm saying? I'm like, my nigga, like I didn't move over here for this.
Right.
I moved over here to come up and make it big. You feel me? Like I ain't move, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause now what'll happen is I'll start fitting in.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't move over here to fit in. You feel me? I don't even fit in when I'm home. Like, and I'm from there. You feel me? So I'm like, nah, I got it. I'm gonna go to where I could get my bag up. You know what I mean? And move and groove from there. But I really encourage people to move, bro. Like, move out of your city. Like, move out of your city, bro.
Yeah. All right, so man, I definitely appreciate that, man. I appreciate this conversation. So we're at a point in our podcast, man, where we like to do a segment called "In My Bag." Again, you see the dope backpack. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna pull out a couple of card games that I do pretty much every episode, man. One of them is called Less Talk, More Genuine Conversation, and basically it's a review of what 2020 looked like for you, and then it's also a little bit of foresight into what 2021 is going to look like for you. So I'm gonna put the mug over here on the side, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick 6 cards out of here, and then you're just gonna pick a number 1 through 6. And then we just gonna flip it over, and we just gonna rapid fire these questions. Oh, you can leave it right there.
You sure?
You can leave it right there. Yeah, it's all good. Then we're gonna put that joint right there. All right, so go ahead and pick a number for me, 1 through 6.
Give me number 5, son.
Number 5. The past year in retrospect, what are 3 things that gave you the most energy?
Well, one, when I found, because this has been a really, really rough year with the pandemic, but when I found my niche, and when I decided, like, nah, like, I gotta find a way to start curating and putting together shows again. I'm like, I can't not walk in this purpose that I believe I have. So when I started back doing that, I was like, whew, I started feeling like myself again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? I think you are one of the only people that I know that still has an open running comedy show that is COVID friendly, COVID safe. You know what I'm saying? And that has taken all of the necessary protocols to make sure that there's social distancing, and that everyone is following those COVID rules. So congratulations to you on that,
bro.
man.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. All right. Pick another number, one through 4 or 6.
All right. Give me 6.
My man, 6. What has kept you up at night in 2020? What has kept you up at night?
Gas. Sometimes I get a little gas. Say no. Sometimes I lay at night and I reflect on my day.
Okay.
It's like I literally replay moments from my day back in my head. And sometimes it's like, okay, I should have said that. I should have said this. Or okay, did I forget to call this person? It's just like a daily checklist type of thing sometimes that I do in my head.
All right. Last one on the past year, 1 through 4.
And me too.
What was your most exciting experience in 2020?
I think probably Miami for the 4th of July weekend.
Really?
Yeah. I had a ball down there.
You had a ball down there?
I had a ball.
What'd you do?
I drank so much liquor, nigga. Like, we shot about every day, and I ain't saying like we balled out spending about a lot of money, but when I was staying was like close to this big ass mall. My homeboy rented a fucking Lambo.
Hey.
First he rented the Lambo coupe, then he took it back, got the Lambo truck. Like,
okay,
I'm riding around in a big like it was fun, bro.
It was fun, yeah. Felt good. I imagine, yeah. All right, so this one we're looking at the next year, 2021. So we're looking at this year. Pick a number 1 through 4.
I'm gonna take 5 again.
You want to take 5 again? To what are you least looking forward in 2021?
All right. Least looking forward to. So I believe that things will start opening up again. And then so now it's less people. Like, a lot of the people who say that they love this have stopped. Like, they like, yeah, I'm gonna just wait.
Right.
And so I think that this has shown that, and don't get me wrong, like, some of them people, like, maybe they are taking care of an elderly person, they have an immune system, what I'm saying? So some of those people, I'm not saying fit into what I'm about to say.
Right.
However, the majority of them, I think that this has shown, like, where their heart really is. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not still... and I'm like, even if you're not going out, there's still enough virtual stuff going on.
Yeah.
There are like Clubhouse open mics, there's Instagram open mics, there are Zoom poetry shows. Like, there's a lot of and so if you're not working in some right or regard right now, that's one. And so just when those people come back, you know what I'm saying, and so and when the people who like, when some of the curators start curating stuff that they should have never started.
How are you going to maintain that, when the outside opens back up? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are doing open mics online though. That you ain't even do an open mic in person. How you doing an open mic online? You ain't even do it in person. You ain't never hosted before. What are you doing right now?
How you doing an open mic on live and there's nobody but you and the person you on there with? There's nobody but y'all two on there going back and forth like, like
poem, comedy, yeah.
And, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
That's hilarious, man. All right, pick another number. One more before we got to get out of here, man. 1 through 4 or 6.
I'll take 1.
Take 1. All right. To what are you most looking forward in 2021?
So there are, just like there's a group of, artists, creators, or whatever, who are still in the house and want coming out. There's a group of people who want the vibe right now. You know what I'm saying? And they like, nah, I'ma just wait. And so, I can't wait, to entertain those people. I can't wait to introduce those people to more comedy, more comics, more poetry, more poets, And a shameless side note, I can't wait for all of the things we're about to do with this Roku station.
Whew, so
that I can't wait.
We're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that off of here though, because we can't be
we ain't giving them everything.
We can't give them everything, man. So Sir Alex, man, the comedian, the host, the poet, the businessman. Man, you do a whole bunch of things, man. You are definitely in your bag in a number of areas, man. Tell people how they can reach out to you, how they can follow you, how they can support you. Tell them where you're going to be at every Sunday.
Sure. So I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook at Alex Robinson. I'm on Instagram at SIR_AlexR. So that's Sir_AlexR. I have a Facebook fan page. That's the Sir Alex fan page. I'm on Clubhouse at Sir Alex R. I think I'm on Twitter at Alex Sir. I believe that's what that is. And so each and every Sunday, if you're in the Baltimore DMV area, we're at Sully's Comedy Cellar. That's 9306 Hartford Road. And so doors open for that show at 7 p.m. The show starts at 8 p.m. Because we've got to be out of there by 10 p.m. Just due to COVID. Like Jeff said earlier, we're doing temperature checks at the door. Masks are required. We have social distancing in place. There's ample hand sanitizer. 'Cause I don't want you to touch me. I love you. Hug me spiritually, nigga. Don't, we could do that or something like that. And so we're bringing some of the funniest comics from around the country. It's features and headliners. All of your favorite local acts are coming through. They're getting stage time. And this is just something that we're building for the culture and for the people.
Absolutely, man. Again, in our bag with Sir Alex, man. I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you stopping through, man. This has been a dope conversation, man. We definitely going to do it again, in the future, man. And I want, people just to kind of see you on your journey. That's the purpose of this podcast, is that I wanted to catch people on their way into that success, man, and you're definitely a person who is definitely on their way, man. So
likewise, champion. Likewise,
I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna be continuing to support the journey. I'm gonna be continuing to watch the journey, man. To all of the viewers, all of the listeners, man, make sure y'all support. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast at. Make sure you all follow Sir Alex on Instagram, all of his social medias. Make sure y'all follow Backpack Jeff on all social medias, backpackjeff.com for more information. Don't forget, at the end of each podcast, man, you have an opportunity to subscribe through the Anchor app. You can go to anchor.fm or you can go through your Anchor app and you can support this podcast and the people that we have coming on here. Monthly donations as little as 99 cents per month, all the way up to $10 per month. So you have an opportunity to do that. We appreciate your support. It's in my bag with Backpack Jeff. I'm always in my bag.
Hey, I got something to give you.
All right.
Got one more thing to give you.
Okay, surprise.
Right? Oftentimes, we hear people say stuff like, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Uh-huh.
We ain't doing that in 2021.
Okay.
We telling people to be the kind of friend that brings a friend.
Okay. Bring a friend.
You know what I'm saying? So, to all of you beautiful people, man, be the kind of friend that brings a friend. Share the link with somebody. Invite somebody to check out what my guy is doing. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
All right. We're going to leave it at that.